Judicial Africa and the diaspora, and welcome to this week's edition of the EFF podcast. My name is Titus Tungur, and we're coming to you from Winnie Madikizela Mandela House. The Easter festivities, the Easter holidays are upon us, and for an understanding, or rather for a discussion around the safety during this festive season, we are joined by the MMC of Public Safety in the city of Johannesburg, Dr. Mgcini Tshwaku. Thank you very much, Doc, for coming through once again here on the EFF podcast. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Titus. Good to be here.
Thank you. And the Easter season, the Easter holidays are upon us. Just wondering, what are some of the safety measures that have been put in place, the state of readiness? Are you ready to deal with the traffic? Holiday makers have already started making their way home.
No. Thank you for that. We were ready. The campaign has been running since the beginning of this month, because April is a transport month. We've been working also with the province, because there's an integrated approach now in terms of how our approach in terms of the public safety. So we've been issuing awarenesses in terms of all those who are going to be driving home. Makotuka, they must ensure that the discs are valid, right? And then number 2, the licenses are valid. Then number 3, the vehicles are roadworthy. And then we've been saying to them that as you're going to be driving home, there's a tendency of people, and I want this to really get it across, and it's very serious. Don't drink and drive. Okay? I know that you are getting excited. Yeah. Because you're getting excited because you're going to the Eastern Cape, Mtanzan, East London. You're excited. Maybe you bought that car. You bought those clothes. You can't wait to get home. Yeah, Bonamachita, your family, everything. You're just so excited. You're driving, and then others, they bought new cars. They just ride. They're just driving all the way. That speed kills, and don't drink and drive. I know that when you hit you get something to drink.
Yeah.
But you're going to be arrested. We're not playing at all. And that's why you're seeing a lot of, the units, JMPD units are outside, is that we need to comply with the law. We need to save lives, because why would be like every time when there's a holiday, there's a lot of people are dying. Why is that? You've got these taxis. The taxis, they just drive without resting. So we're saying people, when they're doing a journey, they are taking a journey, they must rest. Drive a couple of times. If you feel that you need to take a break, take a break. You don't want to arrive in Limpopo or Mdantsane or in a place of death in Durban, get coffin, and it's possible, and the accidents are real. You'll be injured. So that's what we've been telling our people in whatever spaces that when we've been issuing social medias. So unfortunately, those who are not complying, tomorrow there's going to be a roadblock. There's going to be a roadblock on steroids. As we've been seeing that now, wherever you are traveling around Johannesburg, any corner you think that...
all the off-ramps and the on-ramps.
Yeah, I'm there.
You're always there.
remember, we're young people. we know what we used to do when we ran away. Our sports, how we used to do when we ran away from the police.
Sure.
That's why the people are seeing them, because you think that you're running away from, Rivonia. Maringibambe on the other side. You're not going to get the other side. Then I know that where they intersect. So we're just saying to them in public safety, we are responsible for licensing as well. Licensing is open in longer periods. Just get your discs in order, your disc in order. Get your licenses. If your card is expired, fix it. And then, so you mustn't drink and drive. So there is a campaign that has been there. We were doing our pre-launches, okay? We went into the media as well. Province has launched, so it's us now that are going to be launching.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I like the approach you're taking, because you are cautioning people, not only those who are in Johannesburg, those who are driving to Durban, Eastern Cape, and the likes, that you will be there. There will be heightened police presence. Talk to us about the joint, if you like, the intergovernmental cooperation between SAPS, municipal law enforcement authorities that has been put in place now.
Look, for us at public safety, look, it's a step in the right direction because remember, municipal police is derived under the SAPS Act.
Sure.
There are things that we can do, there are things that we cannot do. So now that we are working integratedly, we will be able to arrest. And then we are able to follow up on our cases. And because we say to the PC, General Mtombeni, Shem.
Sure.
And I did tell him yesterday, CIC said, you must be like Mkwanas when you must start, you must start working and like that. But he's a very good person. We've worked very well, and he's been supporting us in terms of the operation that we were seeing in Midrand for drugs. He's involved. So we've decided that we're going to make him involved because at the end, when we get these drugs and want to arrest, so sometimes we found that in the police station there's a resistance. Okay, so we've escalated to the province. So the integration now of SAPS and the municipal police everywhere, it's a step in the right direction. And remember that other municipalities are not have the manpower that we have, the firepower as the state of Johannesburg. Because remember, but we are the very biggest. I mean,
this is the economic hub.
This is the economic hub. So they want to tap into those expertise. Remember, we've launched the JMPD through. The Declaration Unit. When there was an outcry, there was a crime in the city of Johannesburg. But that's why we did not have a crime busting unit. So when we came in, one of the things that the EFF said is that a look at the manifesto of the EFF, that we must fight crime fire by fire. Must have establishment of an anti-gang, anti-drug unit, anti-hijack unit, specialized unit. That was that JMPD TRU. And when we mixed that unit with the K9 and capacitated it. So we've had now this unit that will do, narcotics through the K9. And then you've got the unit that's going to be working on cash and transits. And they've got like rifles. They trade on rifles. So that unit, we've established it and it's been doing exceptionally well. Maybe sometime must invite one of those guys. It's a TRU. Sure. You can call it an NI, a National Intervention Unit of JMPD. In SAPS, you've got that the last number unit. It's called the National Intervention Unit. Yeah. They don't play. Those ones, they don't even play. They don't even joke with you. Yeah. So we've got that kind of unit within JMPD. So we did that. So this integration is quite good. So we've smoked most of the zamazamas out in the area, but of course there are some pockets there and there. We've been at the CBD now, in Hillbrow, Yeoville. Yeah. So we've been there. So this integration will be able now to really get all the other metros out like about Tshwane and Ekurhuleni. So we combined our firepower and go and clean the CBD. And then also themselves, we'll be able to do joint operations with them at the Jukulane, Soshanguve.
Yes.
What other areas there?
Some of the crime hotspots.
Crime hotspot, like your Sinoside. Atteridgeville is becoming a bit of a hotspot there. So we'll be able to work together. And then we will help others share the other smaller ones.
So there are no boundaries now. JMPD can arrest in China.
I can arrest. And I want those ones of West Rand. Like the Zamazamas. They migrated now. They left and ran away from Zanembilo, New Canada. They ran away to West Rand. So when we chase them, it's about on that borderline. And we said, next time. And then we have to turn back. Now we're gonna chase them into their hole. So we heard that now, like there are many of them in what's that place at the Beckersdale.
Sure.
Yeah, Beckersdale is infested there, and there's a lot of turf war that's happening there. So we'll be helping Fighter Tomb. You remember Fighter Tomb, the the form, there's MMC of public safety that side. So we'll be able to do joint operations, and then MMC in Ekurhuleni and in Sedibeng.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you expect an influx of people here in Johannesburg? As you'd understand, some of the people would prefer to be in Johannesburg just because this is the economic hub, but they go back home during Easter and all of that, and most of the, or some of the holiday makers go to Durban, Cape Town, and all of that. Including now Limpopo, the Zion Christian Church members will be heading to Moria for their Easter pilgrims. What will be the major focus for Johannesburg? Are you anticipating a high volume of people? What will be your focus really?
No, ifocus amagoduka nje anjenami ngiyamnawo.
Oh,
Amagoduka, yeah. When amagoduka yambili.
Yeah,
begodukile. So you've got bayathanda uzibiza abomkasana.
Okay.
Magayisa. Yeah, magayisa. So what happens that there will be more focus now on the there's gonna be a focus on places of in that entertainment.
Oh.
Yes, a lot.
Because I saw in December you closed down areas of entertainment around 8. You said by 8 o'clock.
Alcohol.
Talk to us about that.
Alcohol is a problem. No, I just decreed. I declared that no one, by 6 o'clock, I don't want anyone buying alcohol. All the places must be closed.
And
you
this time around?
You want to take me to court again, so do it. I'll answer there. But we did have sort of an engagement with the tavern owners in the area. It was with SAPS, by the way, when we had our operational meetings. So there was an agreement sort of to some others, we just have to drag them by the chains. That guys, you understand, Guti, the major cause of fatalities, especially on the New Year's Eve, is alcohol. So the buying of alcohol, get alcohol and go home. Let's not open up clubs and all those things, because there's a guy, you're in a club, uyaphuma udakiwe uyaqatazela ebusuku, then lotiqi abatsotsi bakubulala. It is a modus operandi here in the CBD. If it was by us, we might just say that there must be no clubs in the CBD. Maybe you can have an exclusive place, probably that is a place that is controlled.
Okay.
Yeah, but this
managed,
area is an area of entertainment. Yes, this street like that. But the problem you are having in the CBD, every corner you get, even every place ungena laphayana, there's like club, no, even ama-flat nje abantu bahleli lapha ma ungena la you do it.
Club is a tavern.
What is this now? Une tavern laphayana, abantu bahleli inside those flats. They've opened the whole first floor, second floor. When you get there is a club. So those are the things that we can actually. So nge-Easters nango December, what happens is that amagoduka yagoduka. And then it gets like kuba sort of like many people congestion beside.
Okay.
So what happens is that now people, they go places of entertainment. Then that's when you get fatality, stabbing and all those things. Now people are relaxed in the house, robberies. And then others, they went away. So robberies they just go out to the roof. So we are going to do an increase VISPOL. VISPOL is visibility police. Stop and searches and VISPOL, and then we're going to also do, there's a lot of the tavern inspection that we're going to be doing. Any tavern that is not complying, I don't care whether you have a license, whatever those things, okay, liquor license, it doesn't matter, but you must ensure that first it has been registered, okay? Maybe abanye abantu abayazi lento lena, ngicela ukuthi know it's an economy, what. With those things up here, there's an argument ukuthi economy, sikhulele khona in tavern ekhaya, but you know how many people have abaphaleleyo because of that thing. People who are nothing to today because there was a tavern lapana abaphuzileyo up until then. So I'm not a fan of taverns. I hate them to bit. But ke operator, it's a free country and everything, but it must be what? It must be compliant. How is it compliant? Number one, you must have a plan of the house. That plan must be approved by building control. Secondly, that plan must be approved by EMS, emergency services. What happens if people get bent there? Who must account? So I must go now to another commission again and answer. So that's why people are sometimes and they become angry. They don't understand if anything happens to actually them there, is the MMC of public safety who must go and answer any commissions.
Yeah.
So it irritates me when you go and say, Chief, you don't comply. They start, those things, but why are you doing A, B, C, and D? When you are all that, whatever. People must just come. I'm not saying that don't open your tavern, but you must comply so that during, these entertainment times, in entertainment, people must be able to, if there's in case of emergency, there must be exits. There must emergency exits. In many taverns, a 4-room. 200 300.
You can't even breathe there.
You can't even breathe there, and then the noise. Who's speaking thing? This guy with the sunglasses. Ulove umile lapha ekoneni.
3 a.m. God. 3 a.m.
Not yango 3. Yabo. So must ngena lapha. Hey chief. Hey man. And I just go in and do DJ Upi's now. I can't even see him. I don't even know who to DJ Upi. I'm looking for him.
Yeah.
The house is packed because now you have a tavern. You must know that there's a certain number of people you can have. You must have security in the counter. Would you know it's full now? Stop.
Yeah. So you go and then ucima music.
What busy DJ and the chief when if you don't think that tata mixer.
And I've seen police doing that, by the way.
Yeah, you can tell you Lama must DJ wow. I want to laugh and the tata must DJ. Yeah. Most of them we did take.
Yeah, sure.
And so that is the problem. So when we leave, we go to abantu behamba go in the place of entertainment. So kuba a lot of parties, yabo. And then also we must not forget that very important bakhona in religious, yabo, the Christian fraternity, nezangoma, baye emilanjeni, they go to waterfalls.
Okay.
Yabo. So in those waterfalls we also have EMS. We got what is called an aqua unit. So before they go there, they just have to alert us.
Before they drown.
Because in the end, the guy is that when you are busy praying, there's a waterfall. It's raining in Johannesburg. There's a waterfall that they like. It's in Regency. This very famous park, man. Verde. The park Manila. The park, yeah. I
don't know it.
So there's a waterfall there. If you can go on Sundays, it gets full. You've got Zion Dapa. You got this Izazangoma, busy nje. And then the problem is that that river, it goes all the way back CBD area there. So when it's raining there, you find out they don't know there's a
there's a catchment area that is supplying.
Yeah, there's too much water coming, and they don't see that. And then some of them they've been washed away. Yeah, they've been washed away a couple of times. So we did have a meeting with them, tell them that before when they have going to have a ritual. Let them conduct us. We'll tell them what is the weather that time. Tell them the tide of the river. When everything is fine, we have no problem going to, and then we activate our aqua unit. Very good. It's been recovering bodies. So yeah, so that's what we're gonna be busy with. And then I know that we managed to get all the other numbers of the other provinces. In case of emergency, when people are going out, they're able to call along the way. Yeah. Well.
Okay.
So yeah. So during.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think we're going to share those details on the screen so that people know who to call, when, and how.
I would like to. I don't know. It's a podcast. Maybe people call in what makes them to really speed on the road. What makes them to drink on the road. What makes them not to stop. Umuntu we are driver. I know this thing, experiencing it when we were young, kancane, ubuntu uthi man ufuna ugoduka, yabona. We were young that time, new car, new kumnandi. So umuntu uyazibona ukuthi is very tired, but asimi. I don't know why. That's the problem. And then there's this tendency mawuhamba kuyaselwa emotweni. And then you find that 13 people died. And it's the taxi people and these buses. Lama bus is supposed to have abantu abayi-2 who are exchange drivers. Omunye uyalala emva, omunye driver. But you find that these people also, makumiswa in a garage, ba busy, ba yekonin, ba sela lapaya. So what do you do in things like that? That's why you need to arrest those people and throw away the key. The government must be very, very ruthless to those people.
Yeah, because the thorniest issue or the major issue when it comes to people who drink and drive, or rather during Easter period or Easter season and December holidays, you find that people die on the road in high numbers. And you find when you interrogate the reasons, you find that people die because of reckless driving, drink and driving. With these sort of stats, what do you then do as law enforcement to try and curb road carnage as a result of or caused by drunk driving and reckless driving? Can't you put, I don't know, what sort of measures are you trying to put in place to try and make sure that you clamp down on these behaviors?
Yeah, it's more awareness and arrest people. They must show no mercy. And also law enforcement officers must not show mercy.
They must not take bribe.
Take money and everything like that. They call it charge. Must not do that. If there's no consequence management, people are going to continue to do it. Yeah, when I say law enforcement officer, I don't want to be specific.
Sure.
Yeah, well, it's what is happening currently now in terms of the drugs, in terms of crime, enforcing of bylaws. You close it now, tomorrow someone comes and takes money that the place is open. You go and bust the drugs that you are busy parading here. Someone is calling those drug lords to they say run away because we are coming. So you need to first curb that criminality. That is, the discipline must be disciplined and professional. Number two, it must be we must do a lot of education, right? And I think some of those things will start like maybe at schools. People to be disciplined, understand. We must start it from a very younger age. It must be sort of we must continue with it, and then do that, but without any consequence management, because if you look at the conviction rate is very low. Very low. That's
why they're not deterred.
Yeah, no. Even with the gangs, man. Go with the gang thing. I mean, with gangs, how many gangs have been locked away? Have you wondered why we can't get those fights in Eldos? Why we can't get it?
Right. Yeah.
Right. It's because there's no persecution. Go and follow those cases. We can arrest all these people.
Okay.
But the problem is that persecution is a problem. The matter gets to court and then it is struck off the roll and the guy is actually set free. Even when we arrest, they tell good, I'm not going to go anyway. I'm coming back anyway.
Yeah. And another point, MMC, as you stress on the weaknesses of the NPA or our justice system, what's mind-boggling is that you find a person who is on bail, but this person has killed people over the past perhaps years, or has a history of being a convict. But you find prosecutors letting him free on the street, and you find that person goes back to a community, terrorizing the community. I wonder what sort of judiciary are we having? I mean, the kind of people that have been appointed there. I mean, how do you release someone on bail knowing that this person has got a pending case?
No, that is the merits of the court. If the court sees fit, the person can be given bail is not a flight risk. What? Things happen there. I don't want to comment. I don't want to comment because I was called back. The commission, what the judicial.
Yeah.
No, so I've got my reservations. That's why I'm saying that I don't address too many parades now. I do when I have to do operation and I know that I'm going to convict people. Problem is that we are arresting a lot of people. A lot. And then it's a prosecution. Investigation in from steps that you're going in. You have to investigate, assign an investigator, prosecutor. It must go to the courts. And we're not in control there. And the same person that they arrested, You know, and then now we've got our people there in the JMPD that actually are opening up our cases now. They are helping. When they open the case, they write statement. So that statement is admissible in court. But you find that, but the same person, when you go down the chain, good to know the case is struck off the roll and whatever happens. So we need to. I hope that we said that as we are integrating all of us, one of the things that we need to focus on is the prosecution. Without any consequence management, we're not going to win this thing. I can have the firepower and do everything that I have. But if, let's say, we don't show the community that all those who are raping, all those who are killing will be locked up in jail for a very long time, we're not going to win. So we said that when we do this integration and when we sign that memorandum of understanding with the police, with the chief of, with the minister of police, I said, we can give you firepower. We've got the rifles. We've got the boots on the ground.
Sure.
Yeah, we're going to arrest these people, but how sure are you that these people are going to be locked away? Yeah, others, maybe if SEPs, they want you, they'll get you.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Sure.
Trust
But police are useless, but wait until they look for you.
Wait, when JMPD looks for you, like now, we are putting all resources, JMPD, SEPs, what, private security, what, neighborhood watch, they will find you. Yeah, well, so there's a lot of things that we need to deal with within the police force. But yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah. Let's look at the scourge of taxi violence, particularly here in Gauteng. Almost over 59 people have been killed thus far since January 2025. Soweto as well has recorded a number of killings of taxi operators. What sort of action are you taking to clamp down on the scourge of taxi violence in Gauteng, or particularly here in Johannesburg?
You see, with any phenomenon that is happening, you must also say, what is the cause of it? Start, what is it? I think in EFF they taught us to really ask questions. Is it, what is it? Who is it? And who stands to benefit? That's how I do my analysis. That's what I was taught in the EFF, to do that analysis. So what is this thing, taxi violence? And then who is benefiting on this or that? I mean, taxi people who have to benefit and all of that. Yeah, what is happening? Kutheni abantu besifa nje?
Beyond what,
and then why this thing is
see,
happening when there's a certain incident. Once people are starting to argue on routes, how do you get routes? How are the routes allocated? And who does it? What happened? Is the process clear? Is the process not fair? And then, but what you ask yourself, but why now you find that there are a lot of people who are dying when there's this disagreement? Why people are getting killed? Who stands to benefit with this thing? You know? So there's been a correlation. When there's a dispute on a route, then the so-called taxi violence happens, where they are going to be targeting the members of the other taxi association, or members of public becomes a collateral, because when they shoot a taxi driver, they just bafaka umuntu wonke. And then they know that the government is going to be on high alert, there's going to be intervention, there's going to be talks, whatever it is. You know, so there's a lot of the eland on it. There's been a dispute in terms of the routes. Who has been there for a long time, who's been given a permit, and then why this one given a permit. And then sometimes I think with the Rea Vaya, there was a dispute to saying that we had taxis that were feeders to BRT, you know, to that Rea Vaya. Rea Vaya must be a feeder. You have to take people from home areas, bafike to the station, bakhwele baham to a destination. So now there's been taxis that have been operating there. Okay. Abanye abantu bathi ke originally they were buses, but buses there was sort of problem with maintenance. So obaba ama-taxi, they actually brought them up taxi wabo back bazifaka ke zenza ke for some time. Now ngoku izinto ziyachinja without consultations. Kufakwa amabhasi again. Now what happens ukuthi with those people who bought taxis? What happened to that route now? Yabona? So kwenzeka manje ukuthi now the taxis are no longer supposed to operate. The bus must actually open. So I said to them, reach out to me, the MMC Public Safety, let's talk. Who do you want to talk to? So I've reached out to the taxi associations and any other individuals who aggrieved in terms of maybe it's been treated unfairly.
Okay.
Said, please contact me, then I'm going to go and get that individual to come and talk. There be the Premier, the MEC of Transport, there be the Mayor, MMC Transport, and myself coming in, just so that we, because I'm MMC Public Safety, if now people are dying, I have to get into the space. Yeah, one. So that's what we achieved that time. We managed to really and talk to the taxi guys, and then I know the mayor went. MMC Transport, they went there, they had a meeting. That was the one that was happening last month or so, 2 months ago. So with this one as well, we had an engagement with MEC Ukidibon. Which look, she met up with them, but that time we were busy with the other issues within the department. But there's been a talk. Said, look, there's been a disagreement on certain issues, so they're busy now in terms of trying to to sort those things out. So that doesn't end that and we must be available 24 hours. We must not let it deadlock, it at cut.
Okay.
Because that's where criminality actually comes in. Abanye abantu, if let's say Mgcini that is not responsive, when this thing is continuing. Because you must understand that some of those people, they've actually bought assets. Those assets must be paid every month. So by our if they are not running and the process is tight as cut. So sometimes they even take each other to
panic,
court. They panic. And then criminal elements, they answer in different ways. But of course, these things it's just allegations, it's a correlation that every time that there's a shooting, it happens when there is a dispute on roads. So I opened that channel. Some of the taxi bosses they call and said, look, this is what is happening. And then I said, okay, let us call everyone and come in so that we can talk about this issue. But and also in terms of how we issue our permits, we must ensure that the issue of permit is clear, open, it's fair. There must be a whole lot of things that must be taken into it. It's not as easy as you think. You might say, go to Mgcini must not operate on this route. But if man say, I've been operating for a very long time. But up. And because Mgcini is liked, or this new guy is liked by the politicians or somewhere, he gets permits quicker than me operating for a long time.
So these are the root causes.
So these are the things that we've been hearing, what they were saying, the issuing of permits, it becomes unfair. And then also there's introductions of different modes of transport without the consultation of them. And then when there's the negotiations, if are deadlocked, follow-ups are minimal, and then the things that they've got assets and they have to pay the bank end of the month. So abanye abantu bathi yabona mos abanye abantu bathi ndoda hayi ke yabona manje kudala khuluma nawo siyena sekhotha indoda sadibana kuphi ehlathini. And you don't know what happens. So criminal elements come in. And yabona, so different ways, man, abantu abaprotesta ngabanye bazaprotesta, others are gonna do different things, others are gonna ban things. If you check most lama buses that were banned in some Mpumalanga, abanye baprotesta they banned your assets, others babona ukuthi what high not ase ehlathini must ahlangane in court. So kwenzeka lonto leyo ke. So the approach of this, we've got a taxi violent unit within JMPD.
Okay.
It's headed by Inspector Nguna. Bayamazi Nguna. Kwathiwa Nguna, JMPD has always been deployed from 4 o'clock in the morning to go with the rear via, and also it does monitor lama hotspots.
Okay.
But it's not enough, because sometimes the opportunity, and look, if we were not there, things could have been worse. It could have been very worse. So we follow rear via back and forth. We also where the taxis are when it's called, so we saturate the area. TRU is deployed there. Rear via unit is we have a rear via unit
Sure.
from JMPD. We've got a taxi violence unit that attends meetings of the taxi areas. You see, so also that's what happened in the Orange Farm as well. So you've got a new routes there which are coming up. So those things, they need a debate. They need a lot of, a debate amongst the taxi owners. Right? Kuna new area now, new routes. What do we do, guys? How do we share this pie?
Sure.
What are your concerns? How many taxis you got? Maybe how do we find to meet them to meet them halfway?
Yeah.
Because in bathi bona bane assets, banendoni, they've got taxis, they've got all these things. But in when a deadlock, sometimes we take time as politicians to come to them and deal with this thing.
Yeah. Do you also reach out to e-hailing operators like your Uber, your InDrive? There's another one called, what is it? The other one is what? It's Uber, it's InDrive, and what? Bolt.
Bolt,
and
yeah.
Bolt, yeah.
Bolt,
How do you ensure the safety of those drivers and, of course, the passengers? Because we've had many incidents of, Uber drivers being attacked, some being killed, particularly with Bolt.
Yeah, no. There's been negotiations, and then there's a process that has been started by the province. It permit to e-hail, permit to taxi is a competence of the province. So when we had a meeting, there's a plan that has been started. I think it's almost complete right now. But what they've been fighting about, the taxis and the e-hailing, is that if you are e-hailing, e-hail, hlale ekhaya. Ubizwe i-app.
Oh.
So inkinga now yenzeka is that e-hailing nayo ingathi yitaxi ngoku. It goes ngaphakathi. Irenkile.
Yabo.
Bayama bonke.
Yeah.
So that's why there was this feud. Yabo. But then daughter, establish yakho, are you not supposed to be at home ubizwa anywhere? Why manje sengathi nine renki la ethile?
But they're dropping off people there.
No, but baba baningi. Like ngathi rank. Yabo. So ba establish a rank ethile lapha. So when bathi no Tina before sibe ne rank sikwazi uma la, we had to get a permit. Nina, why mani drop abantu nibe ne rank yenu? Are you e-hailing or are you taxis?
They must choose.
That's the thing that we got. But no, we will call you from home because is it that on the app rank yago app? So what I don't know why these people, there are many of them. And when if you go to Orlando or other areas, they go Dlamini, baningi in a corner, like 100 or 50.
They're binding there.
So it takes a position. Yeah, because nibizwa app. So we're not supposed to be roving around. Is it a rank now? Then babuza ama question. Ma une rank. What is the permit number? What ayikho zikhale ke ngoku. Zikhale. Abanye now but Nina, you even go as much as going to fetch people when they come out of ShopRite. Bayangena, but are you not e-hailing? Bakubiza nge-app. Why manje ungena?
But the app is calling them there by the ShopRite.
No, abanye bayangena ne. So you've got these taxi watchers. Taxi.
What do you call them? Those
security.
Yes.
But ndoda when ungene la, but asibheke ke uba ubizwe ngubani. Mabebheka. I correspond. I don't know ungibizile mari ngikhathile. Udo endoda yabona ke manje so operate like a taxi manje. Iphi permit yakho. So zizinto that when you go to the taxi meeting you are discussing. Good know when why umela ungamela. Because it's supposed to be about 50 meters away as we agreed. Wena ucrossile lapha. Or when ungene ngaphakathi you went and fetch a person. Mar uthi kuthi indoni uyi-e-hailer. There's a difference between e-hailing and normal taxis. You must go and get a permit, allocate a taxi association, yonke la process. Kubuzwa ni association yiphi nina? Who's recognizing you? Yiphi le rank zikhale ke ngoku. balwe ke ngoku hey you know sibanga sinqanda
You're not supposed to be here.
wait
Yeah.
ngechipa ama nawe look at your app nawe umuntu mayeshaya nge-app uyomlanda uhambe naye bakujonga nama-security bathi iphi app but no ulibizile yabo so ngiyabona ukuthi now there's sort of kancane they're starting to get used to each other yabona. We've been saying that taxi industry now, man,
Yeah, because I think
digitized.
the taxi operators, what I know is that they allow e-hailing drivers to drop off their clients, but the problem is when they fetch the clients. Why is that so?
No, or bayama bonke. Bama bonke endaweni eyi-one.
Oh, they're establishing a new rank.
Kuthiwa nimela ntoni lapho?
Oh, okay.
Because sometimes uyakwazi ukuthi mangiphuma mina engibona into the Uber uthi ngingene pha inside. Uyabo without e-hailing.
Yes.
Uyabo.
But now you and I, if we had enough time, I would want us to do this experiment. We go to Park Station, we request.
Yeah.
That Uber guy will not come there.
Yeah, no.
Because he's scared.
Bazamshaya. So there are still hotspots where taxis they don't like the guys who are hailing. There are those hotspots. Asekona, no Pretoria. But now it has dampened down.
But are you condoning that, MMC?
Yeah. No, we've been having there's been ongoing meetings. Okay. I know that the e-hailing association and this association, they've been meeting, but there's always been flames all the time. You know, there've been flames. This side, Yama's taxi bosses, colorful. There's now e-hailing now. They're militant also. So we're trying to bring them together. But they will find each other. But the only thing that the taxi drivers are saying about, okay, sharp, define what you are doing. You defining what you guys are doing. Are you doing taxis or e-hailing?
Don't overstep
boundaries. That's what they are saying. Yeah, what? And again, Uber nice because Uber I don't have to ask Utaitas to come and fetch me. Uber, they are very, very
sophisticated.
Not really, but they are convenient.
They're convenient.
You know, back in the days, we have to beg Utaitas, but hey, I want an outlet and he will leave me in a club there or something. He'll leave me in a place. Yeah, but guys, I can be in a place of entertainment with my friends. If when Ushile, I just Uber. So it's quite nice and convenient. And e-hailing is not going to go anywhere. We must just accept that. So that's what we're telling. Also, we're talking to the taxi industry. E-hailing not going to go anywhere. We need to digitize. They need to digitize also.
Because taxi operators or taxis, they operate within a time frame. Maybe 6 o'clock until 6.
Done.
Then e-hailing is 24/7.
Yazi mos usuke emdantsana mna nisuke emdantsana ndiye town to go and meet my friends we're gonna eat out nje namajida kumnandi sihle 9 o'clock you must wander the streets there in town or nilale somewhere in some bus station waiting for the taxi to ziqale ngabo 4 even if you went out with your friends 12 o'clock 1 is yavala a place of entertainment uhleli lapho in a cardboard somewhere you are waiting for taxis bas zilande yabo zibera so e-hailing is not going anywhere. And then secondly taxi industry it must what's the word I'm looking for, digitize,
yes.
Yeah, they must move with the times. Now they must have their own taxis. I'm going to a mid-rent yabo ngishaye i-app yabona even an app now, something like that. So someone must work out those things. But that e-hailing is very efficient. Yeah, efficient. I think even the margins, the profit margins are quite higher compared to the taxi now. Yeah, the taxi has been flooding the market. That's why we want to sometimes ban which is not right when you are traveling. You understand? You lift clubs.
Oh yes.
Because there's a flood of taxis in the market, and some of them are not making that much money. You can even calculate. I mean, probably 300-400, 500 a day times 5.
Yeah.
So
and you find this from Orlando. You see, it's like this, but it's still on the road. How do you have such in terms of road worthiness? This car is over maybe 8 years, but it's still on the road, Commissar. How do we?
What happened there in JMPD? There's a unit called the recovery unit. That recovery unit, for some reason, was not operating 100% because when we entered the Bari, there was a problem with the drivers, those problems, collapse. And then secondly is that the pound, the impound area was full. The contract to bail, the bailing contract was expired. Okay. Lot of problem that Titus that we have to unlock. Now we have to get there, said clean the pound. Take those cars and bail them. Bailing them means that you go and crash them. If you don't collect your car, a certain period, the BMW is impounding. You don't come and things. You must come and get and pay 3,500. You don't within a month, I think 1 or 2. We're going to crash it, squash it. You will never
Brand
see it
new
again.
second hand, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. We bail, it's called bailing contract. So we have to come and establish a bailing contract where after a certain period, you don't come and collect your car. We must crash it. So that contract had expired. No one renewed it. So when we came in, we quickly had to force it to ensure that that thing is done. You can see most like some of you when you phone good So we are impounding cars because at least now impound has been cleaned up. So you must come, it's 3,500, I think, between 3,000 and 5,000. So and those ones who are also drilling, they were driller illegal now, pounder man. So yeah, so Eland taxes needs is that the Taxi Association there that we need to be in conversation with.
Yeah.
It's a Faraday Taxi Association. Most of their taxis, they're not in good condition. There's another disky green, they're disky green core. Yeah. So with those colleagues, them and I think that the leadership of Taxi Faraday, we're going to have a conversation with them just to understand what is the issue, because those ones are the coffin thing is so that the coffin taxis and then
moving coffin.
We're also gonna do operations now in Midrand. We've just been from an IDP, so in Midrand we are neglecting it just because that we're focusing in the inner city because that's where the crime and the pilo is at. So we're going to come out in Midrand. Kunalama ventures lapha mawuvule yawe.
The doors falling.
Some of those things there, sometimes we were injured, some of us. You remember back in the days.
You even see the tar road moving.
Yeah, no, then the whole door falls and you fall on your feet. Sometimes you have to pick it up. So we see that, sometimes we thought those things were normal.
And it puts life at risk.
Exactly. We thought those things were normal. So, man, manje when it's cool, we look at the pile, but no, but this thing is a coffin. Yeah, manje, uzofala.
Yeah.
So, sizokale Midrand, those guys, those ventures are bad, man. Are very, very bad. So we're going to impound them. Unfortunately, so they must get those things in order. We got road with the places is yeah. So a lot is happening in public. I don't know why you have not been inviting me. I don't know. So that we can update.
Yeah.
We even hired a chief. We are we are stabilizing JMPD for JMPD data to be where it is right now. So a lot of work that we had to do, even actually public safety as a whole. I can tell you right now, when the EFF took over that department, the morale was very low. It's like something was like standing still. We had to remove a moratorium on positions, moratorium on so many useless things that the people, they were not allowed to really do. So someone was trying to get rid of public safety or something like that. So when we entered, when the EFF deployed me there, so sort of some of the people said that it was a breath of fresh air. We led people to be able to start. We asked them, what do you want us to do? What kind of a department do you want? So we're pushing it to that point there. You can see now JMPD all over where to give them cars. So some of the cars, when they arrived, they had the speed. The speed was sitting at about 500 kilometers. 5,000, man.
The clock.
But for 500,000.
Yeah.
The freeway ones, the old BMWs, we had to come in and change them. We had to change uniform. They even got uniform for 3 to 4 years. But now what we're working on now is the boots. We have to get them boots. The supply chain, they take too long. We're going to work on it now. We're going to get boots properly. The ones that, I don't know, someone bought big boots and then small boots. So you have a lot of those big boots and small boots. So I said to them, hey, man, what
you must get the sizes right.
Gamma size, yeah. So we're working on that. And something very serious I never even wanted to say is that they did not have bullets.
Flip.
JMPD didn't have bullets.
So they were
telling you
just
right
working
now.
without
Some of the guys,
the tool of trade.
they've been shot for almost 4 years. Serious. And then the guns that they were carrying, those guns were like 1980s, 1984. Those old things. We just finished now. The contract now has been unlocked for the guns. They're going to get
The new
about
ones.
1,500 new guns. We're going to change them now. And then going to start going to shooting range and start shooting. Yeah, well? So a lot of things have been done in the public safety to be where it is right now. And then you see the guys are out there. You haven't seen anything else. I think it's very complimentary that, but you see, I mean, even the president said, no, it's there. But I'm still not happy. I'm still not happy. I'm not happy. None whatsoever. I'm not happy. Yes, fine visibility, but there are key performance indicators that we're saying that we must have.
Sure.
Right here. How many citations? How many people have stopped? How many bylaws have been done? Right. It's good. Well, good that you have the VISPOL is very good. It's it's also one of the fighting crime. The strategies. But you haven't seen. This is probably, I can say, 40% of JMPD capability. We have to check. But where's everyone? We had to get those systems now. We're working on those systems. When he wakes up in the morning. Where is he working?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, where are these BMW? Even the BMW 20, where are they? Are they moving up and down in the freeway? When they're moving up and down, what are they doing? Because I still see people jaywalking on the streets. I love my guys. JMP, they know that I've got their best interests in heart, even EMS, all of them.
Yeah.
But when something I have to criticize, I say, look, guys, there are 20 of you here. You're supposed to arrest so many people, but when I come every Monday, because we've got progress meeting every Monday, by the way, every Monday, all units are reporting what they've done for the past 7 days. But there are people jaywalking. Where were you?
Yeah.
There are spikes on the road. Well, what's happening? But you're saying that you've been monitoring what? N1, N4, and N12. But you didn't tell me. I just heard by a WhatsApp group of security services. Yeah, So we still have to be efficient with JMPD. At least now the guys are, we are stabilizing it. There's a chief, there's directors, and so but efficiency go to where's everyone? Where is the full 1,500 complement of JMPD with the cars? Where are they? Because you can see though we have got many cars. That's why they every 500 meters you should be seeing a car. And then one of the things when our approach is that through the governance was to saying that we must have cars in each and every off-ramp. All of them.
Yeah, sure.
And every
Not
border.
some.
Yeah, every border of CBD must have a car. There must be search and seizure. But sometimes you find out good, but it's there but not there. And I ask when I catch the cars, where is this car? Where are these individuals? So now we are moving into element of accountability now.
Sure.
Change management. This is where we are now. And that's a part now is going to do a mind change and the culture change. The culture of maybe you wake up, you parade, you go and have breakfast. It must come to an end. Or you must go and have a long lunch. It must come to an end.
Which one is that?
Yeah, more. They come just in the culture.
Yeah, it must come to a stop.
Key performance indicator. By today, we are 5 of us. Our target, stealth and stature and operation must be so many, and I must achieve them. And we are saying that they must come and bring boxes now. If they've considered guns and all those things, they must come in the meeting. But this is what we found.
Sure.
The people. We don't want those things of people saying, no, we've done A, B, C, and D. But there's a sense of, there's VISPOL, there's a sense that people are fighting crime because even SEPs, even the public are saying that, look, the guys are there. But for me, it's still not enough because I know how many people, how many booths I have.
Sure.
And I say that I don't see all of them. And sometimes I drive at night, wake up, 11 o'clock, 12 midnight. I drive all the way up, all of them, and I keep on sending the messages. I don't see here. Sometimes I'll go and sleep at home at about, let's say, 5 o'clock in the morning. And I go to all the regions. And then sometimes I do surprise visits on parades. And then I check who's here, who's late. Yeah, well, and then I check, okay, so out of 200 people, you've got there in a parade 120. Where are the others? No, don't go account. Where's the other one? yabo. Then you find other ones.
Yeah.
So what we do now is that we parade. I said to them, when I'm having an operation, I parade at 6 o'clock in the morning, I'm there. We do an operation. And then I go to my operation like that. And then I do a debriefing. And I calculate about they were
was
100.
Yeah.
When I expect that when we debrief, I've got 100 people. And then some of them I look at them good, but why when you still look clean? Because I can after parade I can just go and sleep. How do we track those people? So that's what the commissioner is working on now. All cars must have trackers. Where they're going. Everyone, when it comes in, must have a biometric now. When we come back, we must have a report, a debriefing. How many are there? What have we found? Bio enforcement, operations, a place of entertainment. There must be that. So the HOD now is working now, Titus, is working on a standard operation procedure, my brother. It's staying on that. Sifika pha abantu omgcini bayafika with noma kanjani manje namhlanje qoba kwabo when their term is finished ndihamba with the organization. That's what has been happening. Uyakhumbula ubaba Tembe came with noma kanjani or alufakwa eza operations zakhe na ubuya mthetho.
Yeah.
Uhambe naye. So we are busy institutionalizing JMPD or public safety. It must be in the function of a political leader that is there. Mina mafuna nifike with priorities as per the manifesto of that political party. Of course, on crime is crime and everything, but there will be other new things that we need to introduce, but complementing, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what we've seen. There's no record, there's no archives in the JMPD. Dababuza ukuthi amadoda mangena in a region niyenzani madoda. No, we do stop and search about what's called an operational matrix.
Yeah.
Okay. Nenzani ntoni, wenza this and that and that. But must balance this thing. There are new priorities now. Ukuthi ama-spaza shops. When do you do them? When do you do now the places of entertainment? When do you find when there's a place of interest, things on drugs? How do you escalate? Ukhuluma nabani? Uyayigcina or you go there, but you know that good must tear you. How do you escalate? So in the one Titus, it's a governance. We're dealing with governance.
Yeah.
It's a busy.
Sure. So this governance, I want you to reassure those who will be remaining behind the Easter weekend here in Johannesburg, especially those who would want to go to places of entertainment. Although this should be, in fact, a prayerful, season, because Easter is known for the resurrection of Christ, and many people would like to just reflect and pray and all of that. But those who would be willing or want to go and unwind in places of entertainment, what would be the rule or what would be happening? Would we expect the same thing that happened in December to say by 6 o'clock all the establishments are closing? What is the approach this time around?
No, we were going to go and do Vispol. We're going to do operations, so check compliance.
Okay.
If I'll comply, I'm sorry, my brother. Siyavala. Yabo.
Siyavuya pa.
So magwala into yotshwala man hayi. Uhlala nje udakwe nje ube crazy in the head. You know nje uhlala yasela nje. And the problem is that in those areas, I tell you, there's a correlation between the place of entertainment. The many there are, and the more people get drunk, then it translates into fatalities. Because on the ground, who says he was not wrong when he's saying that other people, accent lock, because lapayana they go crazy. The others, they're taking crystal meth. They're taking drugs, and then umuntu born good is a macho man. They start fighting and stabbing each other there, and intestines, but cut on my intestines, just like that. So and yas man into shipping, you know, but based on entertainment corners, when they comply, they must ensure that they switch down the music starting from 1 o'clock, and we don't want any issues. There are those ones who think that they're all that sent in, you know, they are connected with some big politicians like that. We're going to disrupt at some point the Sentin area. phangase Rivonia there Sunning Hill
Yeah.
khona ezinye club laphayana zabantu abadala zabantu abadala phaya nazo siyazivala nje nama strip clubs nje
Yeah.
nazo nje sometimes strip club ngene strip club like you can't even breathe lapha. We entered there, we did an inspection of some strip club, man, it's dark here, there are not even windows here. And then you've got people they're swinging on top of the roof. You don't have any safety harness. When you're up there, you must have a safety harness. So when you go okay, njembulapo. What happens when you fall? So and then I tell my guy, hey, focus when you must write tickets. So whatever, hey, boss. So places izinjalo siyazibona sibona imihlolo yabona ekasi ubona nje umgcine ubona enye lapha eksebra man la sovala yabona. And then when you go to those ones there, you go, this guy, say, man, why are you closing here? I mean, we're just having fun. And then the place you can't even breathe. So I mean, there's no difference between those places. SS17 and what I want to convey to to the citizens of Johannesburg and the country is that it's not that you go tears and now they must not happen. Just follow. They must be safe, man. Ensure that you comply properly, and if you want to comply, come to public safety. We've got the tip of numbers of mine and said you want to comply, you want to open place of entertainment. How do you comply? Because when people die, as when you have to ask my brother. Sometimes when you see in those commission, you are like 2 minutes away from a red overall. So the reality sinks in like those kids there who died. Eastern Cape. Yeah, into nje.
Oh yes.
Into njeyana. Abantu ngoxa uvalayo but hey wena no you're a showstopper, but abayazi ukuthi you are saving their lives, So
is it Enyobeni Thabeni?
Enyobeni. Yes, Enyobeni. So that's what's going to be happening now. Place of entertainment, guys are going to be there. Spaza shops, of course, there's going to be a lot of focus on spaza shops, and the matter is going to be intensified as we come back, because now I think the what you call the legal framework is being sort of compliance regulations are they're almost done. So if your spaza shop not registered, we'll have to close it. So I'm getting my welding machine very soon. Spaza shop comply welded. Fake JMPD sticker. Come open it up when you comply. A lot of stuff we can talk about spaza shop next time.
Yeah, sure.
I'm a dynamics of spaza shop. Something that it's worth to discuss, and then maybe what are the options there. Money is out to assist, but you have not really. There must be a complete diagnosis,
sure, of this compliance.
What is happening, because majority of the South Africans are not running them. Yes, they're not running them. The people who are running those spaza shops it is the foreigners. They are subletted by them. It's something that we must say and understand. This is what is happening, because even a fund that is coming out is Ambanjan.
Who's the beneficiary?
And some of the people, to be honest with you, because we're on the ground, we're interacting, is that some of the owners, but they don't really want to run it. They like to sublet it, because they're not going to pay the thing of stay sitting there, but they will be tingy. So they don't, I'm a supplier. Where do they supply all those things? But it's something that we will talk about. I don't want to bore you with it. Something very interesting.
For another day. But
one of the thoughts I had was that why don't you take all of them? Maybe as a government we list them, comply them. We make them compliant. Give them what? Licenses.
And use some of these deteriorating buildings around the CBD.
If umuntu a 10 key supplied by the government, 10 keys there, and then we a supply chain. How do you supply them? Some kind of a model on that nature. We make you we help you to comply, bringing you a 10 key. Sibeke kuwe ekhaya, siyaziya complier. It's got all those things there. When I submit a license to operate, then sayakutshela ukuthi okay, well, this is where you talk about suppliers to be able to supply at properly good cost and
Yeah.
subsidized, all this
Yeah.
kind of stuff, all the models that we
Sure.
can use, if we're really serious about it. Those are the things that I was thinking as well, because most of the people are struggling with compliance.
Yeah.
And abalala phana abanye abantu ke. There's cats, there's animals. Yeah.
No, Commissioner, we appreciate your plan of action, but safer Easter weekend
Safer Easter weekend, yes.
we say Easter weekend is concerned, and it's quite a comprehensive strategy, and we hope you meet all your targets, and we'll come back and discuss whether or not you have met those targets. But finally, in just less than 30 seconds, your message to motorists, those who will be driving out, all the holiday makers, in as far as public safety is concerned.
No, it is very simple. Ensure that your disc is valid, change it, and if it's fine, get show your driver license is valid. And then thirdly, just please test your car. It's roadworthy. It's roadworthy. Please, 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 please. Secondly, have a spare wheel. Ensure that this spare wheel spanners.
And they must check their tires, their tire
tires,
pressure,
please.
and all of that. Yeah,
Tire pressure.
it's very important.
Please, man. And then it's something very simple to do. And then secondly, that and when you're driving,
K53.
yeah, K53.
Yeah.
Ugqiba kwakho. Xa uzawuhamba mhlawumbi uye Eastern Cape or Limpopo or you're in Durban, you know that you're going to travel for 10 hours. No, we that every 3 hours, mhlawumbi uzawurelax. And if you are not feeling well, just stop at the side of the road. Get some fresh air.
Yeah.
I tell you, just 5 minutes, fresh air. Uzobona, you can pull for another hour or two. Uyazi egarage yama, get out, garage, relax. So ndiyabacela, I don't know whether if it's really a very hard thing to do. Please, khawukhe uthatha ama-breaks when you are driving. A break, just relax. It's very important. And the last one, do not drink and drive.
Yeah.
Don't drink and drive. Ndiyayazi uba xa uphumayo, when you're going out nidrive ni-friends or uba nala mphako wakho manu usithi apha endleleni, it's wrong. You're going to cause fatalities. Yabona. And yeah, so one of those messages that maybe I want to tell the guys, like, and those ones who are getting new cars, they become excited like molecules. But you don't have to speed. I don't know why you are speeding. I don't know why you are speeding.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Maybe someone.
Look,
I didn't know. Why are you speeding? Why? What is why? 300. Okay, fine, no problem. Why are you speeding? For what good reason? Fly. Hey, bro, I tell you, I've been in 2 accidents now. Other thing, nobody 120. Bro, you can feel it. You go 200 thing, you'll be mincemeat. And then you must think of the people you are leaving behind. There's no reason why you must speed. There's none whatsoever. Patience, get home. Even relax. Nobu ufike ngo-5 late or ufike ngo-8 ngo-9 ekusalayo ufikile ekhaya. But there's a tendency on the road of running like mad. Yeah, one of those ones, if maybe a jurisdiction, those people, like, it just bathathe bahlale ejele ubakhuphe after the Easters angakwazi ukuthi agoduke.
Yeah.
So those are the things that it does, and we don't want people to die. I don't know ngema Easters nango December, it's like people they just get excited like molecules. I don't know why. Hey, umuntu kunzi
yeah. And maybe it's worth a reminder, Commissioner, that if perhaps someone gets arrested now in the during the Easter weekend, there's no bail.
On Tuesday, you will be there with our Boland, the guys, abo Debs am Rembula pa. Namanya machiti tags now, machina madrag nyana basibambile. Eseleni musnifaka nonke pa. Machita besibambe for drugs, abanye bebehlabene, others unihlala nonke pa na uthi umgcini pa enxibe kamnandi suit. Hlala pha, nilala phansi. Have you been in those holding cells? Have you seen them?
Yes, I have.
Go and check them.
Yeah, I've seen. Yeah.
Uhlala isamente, unikwa some very thin blanket engaka, and they give you like bread, like old bread there. Bread with some man. It's not nice to really do, and I don't know why people are doing what they are doing. So, even if you get arrested, if it's a manje, Tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, uhleli nabo abo Temza Brembula. You can't sleep at night. Yabona mos holding cells. Zivulekile pha phezulu.
Yeah.
On top. So uzahlala nabo lapha, you can't sleep.
Eish.
Mhlawumbe ulala nje uvuka, ulala usini, ubheka phela. You don't know what can happen.
Yeah. So to avoid that, please do take note, ladies and gentlemen, to all the safety precautions given by Commissar Mgcini. Thank you very much, Commissar, for coming through, and we wish you as well a safe not festive, a safe Easter weekend.
Easter weekend. Fully festive, very festive.
Yeah, but on that note, thank you very much for coming through.
Thank you very much. We'll probably come through to update you on the whole public safety and give you in terms of each unit what has been doing. Remember, you've got JMPD. You've never spoken about EMS,
Yes.
emergency services. What turnaround have we done there? We've never came and spoke to you about the licensing. What are the groundbreaking things we're doing licensing? You know, we want to get licensed to one-stop shop. When you're coming in, everything happens in one desk. You know, we've never spoke to you about how we're turning around disaster management, how we've trying to to stabilizing it. It's very, very well. We never spoken to you about the insourcing of security. What has been the progress so far and how far it is, and all of that. So we can keep people abreast in terms of what has been happening, even though the process is very slow because of budgetary constraints. But it's fine. It's getting there. So we hope that we'll come back and say public safety. What has been done for the next 2-3 years? Where we
Plan
going?
thereof, yeah.
And then we can close it.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Safety is the name of the game this Easter weekend. In the language, as we head to different directions. As for me, I'm hitting the N1 North. Africa, Dzonga, Africa hinkwayo, Amoria. So we wish you all the best, ladies and gentlemen. Please do not drink and drive. Do not text while you are behind the wheel. So le tla kopana kwa Moria, kgotso.